he's had a really good career, you know. Like, the brands he's been working with and those who are, like, slowly dropping him now. You've got the Football Association, that's the FA. ASOS, Adobe. Adobe. How did he get to work with Adobe? Like, sort me out with Adobe. I can't even get a legit copy of Premiere Pro. BBC, he's got a show on there. Channel 4, he's got a show on there. Soccer Aid, Bake Off. I think that was more of a one-off, isn't it, really, those two? He's got his music career, so that's like Spotify and stuff. The British military, Stand Up to Cancer, Captain Morgan, Meta, so that's like Facebook and that. ITV, Prince's Trust, Sidemen, of course, obviously, Beta Squad, obviously, Heinz, which I still find to be quite random and amazing. How has he got his own sauce? You know, he's, built connections. It's a fruitful career, you know. He's done well. In a way, that should inspire a lot of people. M&S, who've recently dropped him, along with GDK, they've dropped him too. Foot Asylum, who has suspended their contract with him, which I think might be the right way to go. They might be able to, like, undo that and maybe give him the income back from that if it turns out that he's not guilty or if the case gets dropped or whatever. So maybe Foot Asylum are taking the right approach in a suspension as opposed to like an outright cut-off. I mean, we can't forget that although the odds look like they're against him, he might come out as innocent. So one of the things that I really wanted to mention here is distance. So these brands right now are distancing themselves from him, okay? And it's pretty mad, isn't it? Like, I mean, that's not a physical distance, right? That's just them, in terms of marketing and media, distancing themselves from him. But look at the physical distance. Like, right now, he is on the other side of the planet, yeah? He physically couldn't get further from any of his, like, support systems, his family, his friends, the things he's built, the places he knows, his places of comfort. He couldn't get further than them if he tried. He's literally as far as possible. You get what I'm saying. And if you think about it, like, people are not really going to be flying out to support him, if you know what I mean. Like, just think, people who want to support him, like his friends, they've got to fly to the other side of the planet to, like, help and support him. Let alone if he actually gets locked up. Who's going to visit? He couldn't be any further. Like, who's going to visit? It's pretty crazy, in that sense. And on top of that, there are certain crimes that prisons don't take lightly. And that's where the actual prisoners will, like, do things to you because of the crime you've committed. And a couple of those are things that involve attacking females and the R word. Yeah? When you get into prison for things like this, it's a bit worse. I do want to mention here, guys, that everybody should probably take a step back, calm down, etc. Let's keep an open mind. There are a lot of people character assassinating FILLY, and I think we should just do the innocent until proven guilty thing. And also, we should be thinking about the victim too. And don't forget, FILLY's got women in his life who he's very close to. He's very close to his mum, like proper close to his mum, idolises her, yeah? And he's very close to his sister as well. So, you know what I mean? You've got to factor those in. Also, his ex recently came out and was saying good things about him. These are people who, like, proper know him in a way, if you know what I mean? Like, more than, like, an average friend or a random fan. So what they say should probably carry some weight, if you know what I mean, guys. Again, I know that there's lots of, like, negative things being said about him, so it's tricky. It's a tricky one to keep an open mind, but we should keep an open mind about it. And dare I say it, even if he is guilty, do we not believe in, like, rehabilitation? People going in there, paying for what they've done, and then coming out rehabilitated? Or do we live in a society where it's like, that's it, you've done it, I don't care if you paid for the crime, that's it. For the rest of your life, that's you. No matter how sincere or how sincerely they have rehabilitated themselves and built upon it and apologised for what they've done. We should basically be giving people a second chance and a chance to get better, and we should be looking at forgiveness in certain situations. Or do we live in a world where there is no forgiveness, just forgetting? There is no forgiving, there's only forgetting. And that was a reference, yes, that was a reference to a certain film. If you know, you know. Philly's going to the police station often. So there's going to be footage of him going to the police station quite often. We've already had like a clip come out about that. And people have been bombarding Chunks with messages. I believe he's even been getting death threats. So Chunks has come out and made a statement saying that as this is very legal, it's all legal matters and things, he can't say anything. Which is interesting because I feel like him and Philly will have been in touch over this. I think Philly is allowed to contact his friends and family and stuff. I think he's got to stay off social media and can't contact the victim. So surely he'll be speaking to his friends, getting support from that side of things. So there probably are things that Chunks wants to say, or things that if he did say could legally involve him and cause issues for him. So it makes sense that he's not saying anything. I think people should like lay off like people who are around the situation. That being said though, I want to know what LV thinks. Anyone know what LV is saying? I know that he's put out a little statement saying as well that, you know, Australian prisons are like rough and that. But yeah, it is mad, isn't it? Like the history between Philly and LV. You know what I mean? Let me just go into that quickly. So Philly was doing his social media thing. This is very, very early on. And he saw that there are some abilities, there are some skills, there are some talents that LV has. Like he would do well on screen, on camera. So yeah, Philly helped LV get his foot in the door with starting off. All right, so they kind of started off a little bit together, you know. Philly worked with LV a fair bit at the start, okay? But then it appeared that things turned kind of sour. I mean, LV's got this weird style where it's kind of a little bit overly aggressive. So LV's got this style that's a little bit overly aggressive. But I feel like Philly was kind of the right kind of person to bounce it back. But it looked like things were a bit weird sometimes on screen. They were a bit uncomfortable. Like you couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. But anyway, LV shortly after that, or maybe a year after that actually, he waited for a while. It's not as if he went round just saying things on the streets and that. He came out eventually saying that, you know, we don't talk, and there were opportunities which apparently Philly went and made sure LV didn't get. Like a thing where it's like, well, you know what, don't work with him, work with me. There's a podcast clip doing the rounds, you'll find it, you'll see it. So yeah, I mean, does this open doors for LV? Can he come back onto the scene, you know, in a much more major fashion? It's interesting. And will Kenny get another shot at the podcast? You know, is Kenny going to get a fair shout and get his fair attention on the podcast? Maybe it's the Chunks and Kenny show. Someone in Australia has come out saying that the victim in this is an OnlyFans content creator, but all the details in that to me seemed quite hazy. Like it was a case of the content creator's friend had come out and said that she'd received contacts from the victim saying that she had a great night and all this lot. But again, the details seem kind of hazy and a bit weird, so I don't know how accurate or not that is. I think just treat that one a little bit carefully because that seems a bit unclear at this point, but maybe more info will come out. So yeah, that's the update. He's going to he's going to the police station. So that's the update. He's going to the police station often. It'll be multiple times a week. So we're going to get lots of footage of him going in and out of there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll keep track of this and I'll see where it goes. And for now, guys, I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. Philly and LV haven't spoken since the Thailand video. So that was basically where Philly, Chunks and LV went to Thailand and, you know, had fun and stuff and all this. It's a good video, to be honest, apart from where you know, there's the weird aggression parts. So yeah, they hadn't spoken since then. And LV did say as well that that if this was, you know, this could well have been handled on the streets, but we've got to be adults about this. Which I get it, you know, if someone's messing with your income and stuff, it's one of them things, isn't it? You know what I mean? But yeah.